Welcome to Ear to the Common Ground. Here we celebrate the power of music and food to bring Americans together. Filmed from an historic barn on Cash Lane in Music City, each episode of Ear to the Common Ground features one musical artist and a diverse gathering of 8 of their fans. Everyone brings a dish to the table, and they talk about one of the issues of the day, face to face, with compassion replacing contempt, as they keep their hearts, ears, and minds attuned to the common ground. I am Sam Lewis, and these are 8 of my fans: Luis, Michael, Claire, Justin, Lila, Juan Carlos, Brian, and Amelia. Tonight we are focusing on media polarization. Let's celebrate America's greatest diversity, diversity of thought, and shine a light on some common ground. All around thinking all I want to do is talk about it.
The word media is used so widely to cover so many things, and they're not the same. So to your point, the Washington Post, the New York Times, ABC News, CNN, any one of these, even Fox News, at least the non-opinion part of it, are professional news-gathering entities.
With fact checkers.
With fact checkers, with
and
editors.
Whole teams.
Those of you who are editors know that editing has a role, an important role. But they're lumped into this thing called the media with
Twitter.
Mike's blog about the news. And Mike wants to talk today about whatever, and that's called the media. But that's not the same thing. But so we lump all these things together called the media, and every day in the media you see the media talking about the media and what the media is talking about or not talking about, which I find to be such a chasing its own tail thing. And I wish we would start to actually differentiate and maybe even professionalize more so what is truly news media from just all the other voices. So for me, for example, social media is not the media. No. What I or Mike or anybody else says on, sorry to pick on you, on Twitter is not the same thing as the news article that's in the Washington Post.
Right.
But right now, those are all conflated, and I think that is one of the many problems, but certainly one of them.
And it's destructive, too, because people,
Sure.
you read Mike's blog, and you're like, well, I know that's not true.
Sorry.
Poor Mike. Not Mike. Let's just say it's Bob's blog. Like, someone else's blog, and you read something and you think, well, objectively, this is just some guy talking.
Right.
And then you read an article on the Washington Post, and you're already in this predisposed position of distrustfulness of what you're reading online. And you don't see behind that article in the Washington Post the huge amount of work and fact-checking and editing and the teams and the weeks or months that it took to make that feature happen.
My whole thing with the whole media is, who are these fact-checkers? Because the opinion is very subjective. It's like, I can be a fact checker for CNN, and I can say everything that narrative is pushing out. I can say this is a fact, or I can say it's disinformation or misinformation. And I think that's just my issue with that, is the algorithms, and then who is controlling the narrative on the back.
When the pandemic started, I completely got off social media. I just knew that I didn't want to be involved right now because there was so much information. So it was taking responsibility for myself during this time to, move forward and just understand what's really going on. Because sometimes you just have so much information, how can you truly decipher?
Well, I may be the exception here about the social media, because I will say that I'm still on it.
I'm on some.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry.
I work on a lot of local and state issues. I do a lot of advocacy work is what I do. And I need I think I do anyway, need social media to keep up with what other people that are working on similar issues are doing, or what a politician's saying about it, or whatever. I do get my news somewhat through through social media because like I said, I've chosen to put Washington Post, New York Times, BBC, Al Jazeera. I've chosen my sources that go in there. I use that chart that's the media bias chart, and I pick the ones from the middle, and that's who. And then I sort of have some of the, to be honest, on the side that I don't maybe support as much, I try to have some of that feed coming in as well into my feed. So I do use social media still as a filtering mechanism and as a connective mechanism. I actually said to my husband at one point, I really want to just get off of here, but I feel like I can't because as soon as I do, I'm going to be disconnected from the work I do.
I'm on Facebook and Twitter like 8-9 hours a day because not consistently the whole time, but because when we write articles, that's how we disseminate it. We're posting things every hour online, and that's
it's a job.
That's right.
And that's where I feel like I see a lot of just the worst things of people just. My editor put a great way of just like so much of Facebook is just like yucking people's yums. People are just like, yum, I love this. And other people are like, yuck, that stinks.
Yeah.
And I see it the worst in just like fan pages.
Yucking people's yums.
What do you guys think about, like, is the media inherently trying to divide us, trying to polarize
Which
us?
media?
Or, well, I mean in general.
Mike's blog,
In general, like, what troubles me, back to your point earlier, you were saying it's really hard for you to find facts, to find the current events and be informed with television media. It's just hard for you to find that on TV. Sit in front of a television.
Much commentary is what
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm more of a CNN guy. I'm a registered Democrat. My voting pattern would kind of fall somewhere in the center. But I definitely don't like Fox at all. But CNN gets on my nerves because it's they're going past the story.
It's over
they're
the
going,
top. And I'm a CNN watcher too. And
they're
it's over
going
the top.
beyond,
Yeah.
and it's like that's not what I want.
I couldn't take it anymore.
I don't want the sensationalism, the opinion.
The opinion.
I have.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of an opinion.
An hour
come
of
up with my
opinion.
own opinion.
I might be more right or leaning. However, if I'm trying to really figure something out for myself, and of course I go to Google algorithm,
Yes.
maybe I need to go to a different search engine. But I've got to go through at least 4 pages of what they're feeding me from what I'm searching to get to a difference of opinion. And I hate that because the whole reason why I'm trying to look something up is so that I can hear different sides of it, right? But when you punch it in, it's already filling it out for you because it knows what you're going to ask. And I find that to be super frustrating when you think you're trying to find some semblance of truth somewhere.
How many people go beyond the first page of a Google search?
Most people don't.
No.
That's it. You just go for those first 10 things. That's it. Back in the day, you used to remember. Was it Lidos, and there was InfoSeek, and there was Yahoo. There was all these different ones. You would go 20 pages looking to try to find the things you wanted to find.
Hey, how are you doing?
How are you?
What did you bring us?
A 3-layered pistachio cake.
Wow.
That my lovely wife made me help her make.
Look at this. You did. Wow.
This is an adaptation. My grandmother was famous for her 3-layer pistachio cake, and we have modified it a bit for modern terms and the times, and probably a lot healthier than the way my grandmother made it. I think there's a lot less butter.
No lard anymore?
Hers was like the classic, the Jell-O pistachio color, which I don't know if it's even got a color, but the real lime green.
Got the picture.
But yeah, I crushed the pecans in this, and then I walked away.
Nice. Wow.
So,
I want to crush your cake.
so how's everybody been doing? How's it going?
Good, thank you.
Great. We had good
We're all
meal,
quitting
good discussion.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're all walking
We're all done
away
with social
from
We're all
media.
just starting our own news outlets just so you can know what you're getting.
We solved the problems.
Some of my favorite interviews over the past few years are with any of the Silicon Valley CEOs and whatnot, and every time they get to the question is, do your kids have a smartphone, or or on social media, they all like, no,
Yeah.
No.
They're like, never.
nope.
Yeah,
Would never do that to them.
Good night.
They know what's best.
This is delicious.
It's so good.
Very
Thank you
nice.
so much.
Gina nailed it.
Let me tell you about the shape I'm in. I don't know if I can sing or swim. See, I'm the type that tends to hesitate. Always need someone to demonstrate. I'm looking high and low. I want to know what you know. Somebody tell me, what does any of it mean? How are there so many busy bees, but you can't find any harmony trees? If I knew there would be days like this, I never would have learned to hug and kiss. Looking high and low, I want to know what you know. Yeah, well, somebody tell me, what does any of it mean? What does any of it mean? Yeah. Oh, well, somebody tell me, what does any of it mean? So make a wish and cast it out. There's no need to scream or shout. Some things in life are worth waiting for. Maybe someone should make a waiting store. I'm looking high and low, yeah. I wanna know what you know. Yeah, well, somebody tell me, what does any of it mean? What does any of it mean? Yeah. Oh, well, somebody tell me, what does any of it mean? Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Where I come from, it's a little out of view. There's a Sunday matinee on Virginia Avenue. Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Bean, they're talking in their front yard. Will their father, son, out of shot ever get that car to start?